Let me be honest with you about something that most people are too embarrassed to admit out loud. You have probably opened your phone at some point, seen a stock ticker going absolutely crazy, watched some random person online talking about how they just made a fortune overnight, and felt that feeling, that tight, anxious, almost desperate feeling in your chest. Like you were missing out on something huge, like everyone around you was getting richer while you were standing still. And maybe you jumped in, maybe you bought something without fully understanding it, maybe you lost money, or maybe you made a little and then lost it all chasing the next one. Or maybe you have just been watching from the sidelines, confused, overwhelmed, not sure who to trust or what to do, wondering why no matter how hard you work, your bank account never seems to reflect it. Either way, I need you to know something. That is not your fault. The way most people are taught about money and investing is completely broken. It is designed to keep you reactive, emotional, and dependent on the next hot tip, and the people benefiting from that confusion are not you. Today, I am going to break all of that down in a way that is simple, practical, and real. No jargon, no fluff. Just the truth about why chasing hot stocks is quietly destroying your financial future and what actually works instead. But before I go further, if you already sense that you need more than just information, that you need a step-by-step system built specifically around your situation, there is a program linked down below in the video description that might be exactly what you have been looking for. I am not going to spend a lot of time on it right now. But I do want to say this. The people who tend to benefit most from it are the ones who act early. Not because of pressure, but because action is what separates people who change their financial life from people who just watch videos about it. Okay, now let us get into it. Picture this. It is late at night. You are sitting at your kitchen table, phone in one hand, a cold cup of coffee in the other. The house is quiet. Everyone else is asleep. And you are scrolling through your investment portfolio, stomach sinking, watching a stock you bought 3 weeks ago because someone online swore it was about to explode. It has not exploded. It has dropped 40%. And now you are doing the math in your head, the mental math that nobody warns you about. How many hours did I work to earn that money? How many weekends? How much time away from my family, from the things I love, from actual life? That is the real cost of chasing hot stocks. Not just the dollar amount on the screen, it is the hours of your life that evaporated with it. And here is what makes it even more painful. You probably did everything you were supposed to do. You did your research. You watched the videos. You read the posts. You listened to people who seemed confident and knowledgeable, and still, it went wrong. Because the system you were using was never built to help you win. It was built to keep you playing. Let us talk about why that happens. When a stock is being talked about everywhere, when every feed you look at is screaming about some company that is about to change the world, by the time that information reaches you, it is almost always already priced in. The people who made the real money got in before the noise started. You are not getting an opportunity. You are getting the exhaust fumes of someone else's opportunity. And then when it drops, they move on to the next story, the next hype cycle, and you are left holding the bag wondering what went wrong. This is not investing. This is gambling with extra steps. And the worst part is that it feels like investing because you are looking at charts and reading company names and using apps that look sophisticated. But the decision-making underneath it is pure emotion, pure fear of missing out, pure reaction to a story. Real wealth building works nothing like that. And once you understand the difference, you will never look at a trending stock the same way again. Here is the truth that wealthy people actually live by. They do not chase returns. They build systems. They are not trying to find the next big winner. They are creating a reliable, consistent, boring process that compounds over time. And compound growth is one of the most powerful forces in human history when you actually let it work. Think about it this way. If you had two options. Option 1, you try to find hot stocks every few months, stress about timing, ride emotional roller coasters, and maybe if you are lucky, average a decent return some years. Option 2, you put money into a disciplined, diversified investment strategy consistently over time, never touch it emotionally, and just let time do its thing. The second option wins almost every single time, not because it is exciting, because it is not. It wins because it removes the most destructive force in investing, which is you reacting to your emotions in real time. Studies that track investor behavior consistently show one of the most heartbreaking patterns in finance. The average investor earns significantly less than the actual market returns because they buy when they feel confident and sell when they feel scared. They turn a wealth-building machine into a money-losing machine by adding one ingredient, emotional reaction. And I want you to sit with that for a second. Because it means that the problem has never been the market. The market has been incredibly generous over long periods of time. The problem is the behavior between the investor and the market. Now let me paint a different picture. Imagine waking up one morning and not feeling that anxiety anymore. Not immediately reaching for your phone to check prices. Not second-guessing decisions you made months ago. not comparing yourself to some stranger online who claims to have made a fortune last week. Imagine instead feeling a steady, quiet confidence. Not because you cracked some secret code, but because you built something real. A system that works while you sleep, while you live your life, while you are present with the people who matter to you. That feeling, that peace, is what actual financial freedom looks like. And it does not come from picking the right stock at the right time. It comes from making the right decisions consistently over time. Let me give you the core principles that separate people who build real wealth from people who stay stuck chasing the next thing. First, diversification is not a compromise, it is a strategy. Most people think that spreading money across different assets is what you do when you cannot make a decision. Professional investors know it is what you do when you are serious. When you are not trying to gamble on a single outcome, you are building a portfolio that can survive surprises, and life is full of surprises. Second, time in the market almost always outperforms timing the market. Every year, financial analysts produce research trying to identify the perfect times to enter and exit investments. And every year, the data shows the same thing. Missing just a handful of the best trading days over a decade can cut your returns in half. You cannot predict those days in advance. Nobody can. So staying invested consistently and letting time compound your returns is worth far more than any strategy built on predictions. Third, your costs matter more than you think. This one is invisible but devastating. If you are paying high fees on actively managed funds or losing money to transaction costs every time you trade in and out of positions, that money does not just disappear. It disappears and then it stops growing. The money you pay in fees is not just the fee. It is every dollar that fee could have become over the next 10 or 20 years. Lower cost investing is not a small upgrade. Over time, it is a life-changing difference. Fourth, behavior is your biggest edge. Not intelligence, not research, not connections, behavior. The investor who stays calm when everyone else is panicking, who keeps adding to their portfolio when prices are dropping, who never touches their long-term money for short-term emotions, that investor almost always outperforms the one who is smart but reactive. Emotional discipline is the actual skill that wealthy people develop. Now I want to talk to you about the cost of waiting, because I know some people watching this are thinking, okay, this makes sense, but I will start when things settle down a little, when I have more money, when I understand it better, when things in my life are less complicated. And I understand that completely, because change is uncomfortable, new systems require effort, and it always feels safer to wait. But here's the reality. Every single day you wait has a real price, not a metaphorical price, an actual mathematical one. Money that is not growing is shrinking in purchasing power. Time that passes cannot be recovered. The most powerful ingredient in long-term wealth building is time, and right now today, you have more of it than you will have tomorrow. The people who look back with regret are rarely the ones who started too early or moved too fast. They are almost always the ones who waited, who said next month, next year when things are clearer, and then woke up years later realizing the window they had was smaller than they thought. You do not need to be perfect to start. You just need to start. There is a reason why people who get serious about their financial foundation early, who stop gambling with their future and start building it deliberately, almost always say the same thing afterward. I wish I had done this sooner. Not because it was hard, but because it was simpler than they expected, and the results were more powerful than they imagined. If everything you heard today resonates with you, and you are ready to stop just knowing things and actually do something about it, the program linked down below in the video description exists for people exactly like you. People who are done with the noise, done with the confusion, done watching their financial potential stay locked up because they never had a clear, proven path forward. This is not for people who are looking for shortcuts or get-rich-quick promises. This is for people who are serious, who are ready to do the work, and who understand that the right system applied consistently creates outcomes that no hot stock ever could. If that is you, the link is below. Do not let today be another day you almost took action. Go there now.